Yeah. Y'all know what time it is right here, right now. This is the Remix Morning Show. This is Black Power Media, and it's time to go. Let's get it, y'all. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor. Let me introduce you to your host with the most, straight from the East Coast, DC. Where you at? DMV, where you at? Stand up. Let's start it off with no other than Burn It Down, Kim Bratt. And no other than Dr. Jared Bull. Hey.
Why you hit Jared with the weak joke, Ear Doctor?
With the what?
With the weak joke.
I ain't hit him with the weak joint. You know what? I ain't got my echo, so I was trying to do the fake echo.
Okay.
I got my other.
Mine sounded legit. I don't know Jared's. I said mine sounded legit. I don't know Jared's.
Jared sounded like he ain't even say nothing. It sounded like he liked it.
I have no problems. I have no problems today. I am.
Not with them shrooms in the back, you know.
Ooh, let's go. Let's go.
Oh man, I like how Kim's microphone ain't even hooked up.
Oh
Oops.
shit. Damn.
Speaking of never having your microphone hooked up, come out, okay, Franklin.
I see he had the megaphone hooked up lately, though.
Yeah, he out here being a troublemaker.
You'll ever have a song that it's probably not meant for you, but whenever you hear it, it's like, so when I'm in my car, anytime Sunshine Anderson's Heard It All Before comes on, I just blast it, B. I just blast it. Heard it all.
It's funny you mentioned that. I just heard I have the Ghostface remix on regular rotation. So that would be my version of that. Yeah.
Okay.
His remix is dope.
Why is Kim all in the camera like that? Why is her all in the camera?
She ain't got us together.
No,
She ain't got her shit together? Oh,
no, hold on.
Not like me. I got my shit.
Your mic sounds great. Your mic sounds great.
But Ear Doctor,
what up?
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all?
Yes.
Is my microphone on?
Yeah,
we can hear you.
All right. But see, Ear Doctor, I came on early for the tech check, and you ain't saying nothing about my microphone.
Well, you was going back and forth anyway. That's behind the scenes. You wasn't in front of the mic the whole time. Hey, guess what? Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. You know what I'm saying? Big up to all the mothers out there. If you lost your mom transition, she made a big up to her anyway. All the moms out there, so big up to everybody. Hope y'all had a great Mother's Day.
Big up to my dead mom. She died. She did die. Yeah. Big up.
Mine
to
too. Well, she's not dead. You know, the memory and the spirit still lives.
I don't know. Mine is dead. She's definitely not alive anymore.
I can't.
But I mean, I love her dearly. You know. But I'm just saying. You know. Big up to her. Or you know.
What are you saying, Kamal? What are you saying?
Big up to your kids' mom. How about that?
That's right.
Yes, we took her out to dinner. Where do we go? No, lunch. We did lunch, Ethiopian style. You know what I'm saying? The kids dressed up in Ethiopian garb.
Oh,
It was all cute. Yeah.
Cosplay.
You know what I'm saying?
Culture. What you talking about? Cosplay. See, this is why you can't bring ends. You can't even tell ends nothing. You can't tell ends nothing about what you do.
I kind of was with you. I was like, yeah, they dressed up, you know.
We Ethiopians today.
Yeah, you know. Like, where's that shirt at? Where's that Ethiopian shirt?
I have one Ethiopian shirt. There's my special Ethiopian dinner shirt.
You know, the one we went to the restaurant.
That one.
The restaurant, weddings, you know, those kind of things. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Funny.
Dust it off, iron it up.
Hey, what Miss Brown do?
I gotta admit, I usually do it up for my mom on Mother's Day. This Mother's Day, I phoned it in, bro. It was takeout sushi and a card. I usually do much more for my mom on Mother's Day. It was this Mother's Day, it did not manifest. But I also celebrate my mother on Father's Day, so I think I might make it up to her on Father's Day.
You said sushi and a carby.
And a card, B. I'm telling you, come out. It was
hey, did you text her?
It was not. I showed up. You know, I got over there now. Don't play me all the way out. But it was not one of my better Mother's Day performances. Let's put it that way. So, but my mother knows. My mother knows what time it is. I hook her up. So I got you on Father's Day, Mama. I got you on Father's Day.
And Jared, how about you?
So we did the whole thing. So we saw all the grandmothers, and took my wife out to lunch, and then I bought her a car with her money. That's how we spent Mother's Day.
Oh, nice.
Damn.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's what
And yeah, so it was dope. I mean, we
Wait a
saw
minute,
my
you said a car or a card?
CAR or CARD?
we so every year, like,
They don't call them ball for nothing. That's what I'm saying.
but
I know that award, that school award came in well. They came in well.
No,
I mean,
he
so
spent,
what's her money though?
he spent
I mean,
her
don't hurt
money.
the caveat.
That's a
What's
real
her
investment.
car?
thing. So
What's her money?
it is, if you all remember that old Eddie Murphy, Johnny Carson routine where he talked about, that's how it really is in the household. I throw my little bit of pennies onto the pile every month.
Here's my shillings.
Yeah. And when
The
you sit
contribution.
down, and nowadays I haven't bought a car in a long time. When they got the new fancy digital desk where you sign everything digitally now, there's no papers.
wow.
But when you see the incomes laid out next to each other in bright HD 4K.
Look, Kamal commiserating. Kamal's like, yes, I know exactly what you speak of.
They be like,
Yeah. So all
Like,
I,
you have an
I
income?
contributed is, my wife, before we got married, the first thing she did was fix my credit.
Woo, a
Nice.
queen.
So
A
Yeah.
queen.
she
to
was
do
like, I'm
that.
not entering. She looked at my financials and like, we can't walk down no aisle like this.
Wives,
Damn.
women, ladies, take
Got all of, she said, give me
You did a
Take
good
you
all
job.
your pins and your social and
Uh-huh.
let me take over. And I was like,
let go and let wife, right, Jared? That's your
woke up
saying.
a couple months later with a good credit score and bills paid and so 20 years later, we about to celebrate our 19th anniversary next month.
Hey.
Nice.
And 19 years later, I'm like a have decent on paper, like I'm a decent citizen, like I'm a
You're a real good African
I'm a
American.
contribution to society. You know what I'm saying? I'm a functioning human being. You know what I'm saying?
All thanks due.
All
to
things do. So then,
Mrs. Ball.
but it was stark. The contrast was just a stark reminder. My little pennies, I make it mist. Just a little sprinkling.
You did a good job there, Jared. I must say, us guys that get married, we marry up.
Oh,
We
I did marry up. My man and I, we have a joke like the first half of my life is comical, awkward, late to the game, a mess. But the second half, it's all about the second half. You know what I'm saying? You gotta.
It's the long game. It's the long game.
You know what I'm saying?
Long
It's
My-
a marathon. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Not
My
Fred.
my kid's mom is a Georgia Tech grad. I was like, oh yeah. I'm definitely gonna.
He's like, I'm gonna wrap this one up.
wrap that one up.
I know, but you went to Morris Brown though, Air Doctor.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
Brown
Yeah,
University.
The
Come on.
Brown.
The school that instilled culture and knowledge itself.
You went
Now,
to
this
13th
school-
grade. That's what he
Georgia
did.
Tech, they instill
13th
like money.
grade. That's
They instill engineer
that
degrees.
used to be my opening. That used to literally be in my opening day speech every semester. This is not the 13th grade. Just everybody wake up. I'm not that high school teacher. I don't have to deal with none of it.
None of
You
it.
still do it? You still do that?
No, I'm a cliche now. I'm the old, soft radical now, you know what I mean? Like put in the corner that everybody loves his class. He's, you know what I mean? Like don't nobody know who he is until they fall on his last and like, oh, this was kind of dope.
Are you an easy A? Did they refer to you as an easy
I
A?
am. If you show up and put in, you put in any effort. Yeah. You do have to put in,
Could the ear doctor get an A in your class?
Yeah.
I think he could. He shows up every day. That's
That's part of it.
But what about his answers when he starts answering questions in class?
Whoa.
So
I mean-
I don't grade. So this is where your doctor would do well. I don't grade on content as much as I do on effort. So I want people to grapple with ideas. I don't need them to be right. There are no right answers. So,
I'll be a cum laude. I'll be a cum laude up in his class, boy.
See,
that
yeah,
class.
you see, now we're inspired him. Now
Right.
he's cum laude.
you don't even
Walking
even
in
say-
with a magnum, boy. Magnum cum laude.
Good night. All right, nigga. I'm going back to bed.
I just
All
want
right.
to say one thing because we did go. We went and saw my mother, right?
Yesterday.
And it's funny how the Brooklyn is like, even in dementia, the Brooklyn is the last thing to leave. So she barely remembers what's going on, but she's like, "Where's my son?" They're like, "Oh, he's there. You've already seen him like 5 times and hugged him, and he's greeted you 5 times." She's like, "Where's my son?" And then she got a whole bunch of like negative criticism and jokes. And it's like, he's not as cute as he used to be. What happened? He's old now. And I was like, I don't recognize him anymore. I'm like, oh, all right, Brooklyn.
Damn.
Yeah,
It helps with self-esteem. It does help I feel like being from certain places does help with self-esteem. Either you get crushed or you just like, what? Take it, keep it rolling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when up north you're dealing with a bunch of multi-cultures and stuff like that. When you come to other places, maybe Iowa or something, like, you're not dealing with too many different people, so you might be, a little shy. Just saying, your confidence might not be on fleek. But anyway,
On
with that,
fleek.
you like that?
Are you
I'm doing something with the youngsters today. I gotta leave early, everybody.
That's right. What time are you leaving? After this or like by 9?
After this break.
You're gonna do one break and you out.
And whose fire detector is whose smoke
Thank
detector needs?
Oh, that's
I
mine.
was-
That's
not
mine.
mine. Okay. I was like,
No,
all right.
my kid 2 days ago she tried to cook for Mother's Day,
Mm.
and of course, 5 seconds later, and even then, it's like,
like nobody was helping her. Where was the adult supervision?
because she doesn't want help. When you try to help, she goes,
Mhm.
"I know,
Yeah.
I
Come
know."
out,
That's how they are.
She's 10 though. I mean, she didn't have a choice.
She gotta learn.
You got a
Learn.
point there,
Gotta
Kim.
learn.
Gotta learn.
That's swimming lessons in the house. Throw 'em in
Gotta
the
learn.
pool and walk
Let me
away.
guess. She was making spaghetti.
No, she made. What did she make? She made
Some injera?
It was terrible too. It was terrible. She
Oh my
made.
God.
Wow.
Oh, she made. No, because it's like we got to eat it, but then she stops eating it. You know what I mean? Like she stopped eating it herself, but she's gonna sit there and look at you like you're doing a bad thing. If you like,
I like Maya. I like Maya's whole approach to the whole situation. But how
I'm
come
not down with it. I'm not
how come her father wasn't supervising her making this Mother's Day meal though? These are my
I
questions.
came back. I ran out to get the flowers and the cards. I paid for the food. I always feel like those are I'm not good at the. I've never been good at setting up dates and all that stuff.
Stop.
So
It's just a personality thing.
Stop.
But if it's organizing, I will organize the. If it's so
boy.
weird. Like if someone says organize a town hall or whatever, at least back in the day, logistics, details, I'm on it. But if it's something personal, even if it's something personal, it just kind of like falls way down. I show up, I pay, and I'm the entertainment
Mm.
because
And
I've
you just
usually got the better personality or the bigger personality amongst the people like the friendship circles. Like they all I got to do is come and talk. And that's all they care about because the interesting stories. I'll say something Brooklyn like,
That's how
Yeah,
you
exactly.
feel.
I'm the
Come
most.
out. I'm
And you
sorry.
just told us
I-
that you went the day of to go get the Mother's Day stuff. Continue.
But I have less of a problem with that. But I have more of a problem with the fact that he knew the 10-year-old was about to get busy in the kitchen, and he said, "All right, I'm running to the store. I'll be back." wait.
Y'all got
Wait.
it. Little man, watch her.
What? Wait a second.
Oh my goodness. Welcome to the Remix Morning Show, everybody. Big up to all our remixes out there. We are at 25,000.5 out this bitch. So big to all y'all. Big up to our new members. Like I said, I'm about to get up out of here in a minute. So yeah, I got it. My son's graduation tomorrow, so I won't be here tomorrow. I got to do a field day today and a field
What's
day.
the field day? Where you going? What's the field day? I'm sorry.
It's a high school, middle school type joint where you go there, play music for the kids, and teachers
Oh,
run
you gonna
around.
DJ basically? You gonna DJ?
Yeah.
Oh, they paying you?
4 or 5. Psh, come on, son. All right, yo.
You know what it is.
Boy, you be pocket watching, boy. All right, so what we're gonna do?
Okay.
We're gonna take a quick break and come back, and Kamal's gonna tell us about why he's screaming at people in front of City Hall. Jared's gonna tell us about why money ain't right in people's pockets, and Kim is just gonna tell us. So, all right, we'll be right back right here after this break. Remix Morning Show. Let's go. Yeah. What's good, everybody? What's good? All right, here we go. We are outside. If you're not, you're inside. Well, it's going to be a nice day outside, depending on where you at. Let me give y'all some weather. Before we do that, make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. And make sure y'all go and share this to somebody else. If you ain't got no loot, we get it. You know, it's the middle of the month. I don't know why I looked at my watch. But, yo, it's the middle of the month, and it's, you know, things happen. Anyway, also go to patreon.com and drop some change on the bucket. That's right. You know we love it. All right, let's start right here in ATL, where I am. We got a high today of 82 degrees. It's going to be John Blidday. It's going to be some thunderstorms, though. All right, next, let's take it to the Chi, Chicago. They got a high today of 72 degrees. All right, next, let's take it down to Houston. Big up to Houston. H-Town, they got a high of 82 degrees. Next, let's take it to the west side, the best side, Los Angeles. They got a high today of 75 degrees. And excuse me, but let's take it back to the DMV. DC, they got a high of 73 degrees. Now, let's take it to the islands. Barbados, big up to Barbados. That's where half of my kids' lineage is from. They got a high today of 86 degrees. And last but not least, let's take it to the motherland, Zinder, Niger. They got a high today of 107 degrees. You talk about John Blaze. Yes, it is. It's hot out there. Let me tell you what else is hot. This hot head right here. Ja Morant. Man, let me tell you something. First of all, you get on Instagram and you get caught playing around with a gun. You lose some money. You lose some of your brand. It goes down. So, all right, they give him a second chance. He comes back out. What do? You get on the Instagram again and you flash a gun again. Why are you trying to be so hood? You're from the suburbs, buddy. Stop acting like you hood. You're not hood, and it's not cool to keep playing with your money and playing with your career and playing with your brand. Not even the money. Just playing with your family's name right there, man. You are bringing it down. Stop trying to be hard, God. It ain't even worth it. All right. With that said, let's go ahead and get back to the Remix Morning Crew. Now we do right here on the Remix Morning Show. Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm sorry. I thought the intro had several more seconds to play.
No, I was just going to say that. Why are you cutting the intro? You rushing that much? You cutting it short? I feel like you cut it.
Listen, the intro is like type long. It's longer than the shorts. There's no need.
We are still trying to recover from the sabotage that the Remix Morning Show experienced several days ago.
We trying to get it together. I'm still trying to figure stuff out. We good.
I mean, anyway. Somebody can replace the elements that they deleted / stole. That's it. You know
and I like the orange thing. Is this orange? This is new.
Yeah.
Is that what happened? Elements got removed?
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. Some things came up missing. You know what I'm saying? But
your doctor, and I agree, he thinks it was done on purpose.
I do too. And how is it that Jared is just hearing about this? Y'all didn't tell Jared about this?
They don't tell me anything.
That is true. This is
you don't come to the meetings.
If it doesn't come up in meetings, I don't miss meetings.
We be having
invited to those meetings.
We like Capadon. We have a by ourselves meeting. And
yeah, you did. I'm not invited to those meetings. So.
No, Jared, was it last week, Air Doctor, that we discovered this, or you discovered it? That when whatever the page to log into the Remix Morning Show, all of our intro transition elements, all that should have been gone, deleted.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
That's a sabotage.
Yeah.
Sabotage.
We ain't gonna bring up bullshit though. But
no, it ain't no shit, dog. This is important.
You're right.
Important.
Yo, so I'm about to be up out of here. I appreciate y'all. I'll check y'all out tomorrow morning. And yeah, don't be like John Morant, man. I'm gonna tell these kids today on the microphone.
But we also know, I also don't want us to be like I saw Kwame Brown the other day. Like, I don't like this Fox News, the black version of Fox News take on black, behavior. So this whole thing of he literally is on there. He literally said on his day, his video, you messing up. This white man give you all this money, and you ends is messing it all up.
No.
And stop acting like an N. You just an N and an N, and you just need to hear it. You need to hear N from, because you acting like an N, and these white men give you all this money in. And I was like, damn, dude. And I'm just like, and all them Fox News people just rain in money on his YouTube channel. Keep going.
He calling him a nigga.
I mean, he did it. It was like 100 ends, man. And again, he kept saying, like, the white man, he literally said the white man gave you all this money.
That's the problem I have with the statement. Forget the ends.
It was such a white conservative critique. It was, like, I get it. You do better. We clearly, come on, son. But still.
And if you look at the word nigga and you look at it as ignorant, yeah, he was very ignorant, but we don't do that in front of each other on screen for the white man, point blank.
And not when you're taking a white man's perspective. That to me is the biggest thing. He wasn't taking some black or certainly black radical argument and throwing the ends in there. He was saying it. You could hear he's saying it for all of the white audience members that he was really talking to. They were like, say it again, Kwame.
Wow.
Yeah.
But see, I don't know. Well, I mean, is there a comparable white athlete who is, proud in their Second Amendment freedoms? I feel like this has all been blown out of proportion. It's not like John Morant pointed a gun at somebody. It's not like we're talking about Gilbert Arenas out here. So, like,
he's the shooter.
I mean, come on, No Chill Gil. They call him No Chill Gil for a reason. Like, Gil, anyway. But John Morant did not do what Gilbert Arenas did. So I don't quite understand what all the kerfuffle is about whatever John Morant did on Instagram. It's like, so what? He flashed a gun. He lives in Tennessee. He's allowed to have guns.
Like I said, I ain't want to put it on the money part, but even bringing your family name down. How many times you gonna do this?
I mean, are the Morants? No diss to the Morants. I don't know. I mean,
they may have guns too in the background.
I'm saying, I'm sure they was like.
Though I think Kim raises a good point. The difference would be you would see a Second Amendment defender, but you would see the white man on his tractor hunting, and it would be portrayed like that. It wouldn't be, with the music and so. From their perspective, so that's why I'm saying it's easier for them to, because ultimately it's no different. It's ultimately no different. If you're in your camouflage shooting deer and riding around, I got my get my gun and my rebel flag. Like,
and they get a TV show. They get a TV show.
Exactly.
Because you're right, John Morant. They weren't going around, pointing it at people, threatening people. They weren't talking about I'm sticking you up and I'm shooting you. It was just.
Stupid.
I don't see the problem, to be perfectly honest. I mean, this is America. Everybody got guns. Like, I mean, come on. And again, he lives in a big open carry state. Who the fuck cares? Like,
you should be praising him.
Thank you. John Morant should be talking to us about gun safety out here. How to carry concealed out in the club. I'm interested in hearing that.
The NBA Second Amendment PSA. Hi, I'm John Morant.
It's a parade in his city, yeah.
It might be a bit much.
As long as you have the safety on.
Taking it to there might be a bit much.
All right, so go ahead and remember where that news segment button is, and y'all know all the other buttons. I'll catch y'all tomorrow morning. Y'all have a great one.
Peace, Ear Doctor. Have fun, man.
Before we slap a map, can you say a little bit about the Mike Tyson meeting? I know you've done it on some of the other shows, but I need to hear more.
Sure.
So I kind of caught, like, Earn My Liberation, terrible name, but love the show. How you dashed out, you went, and then all of a sudden there was a picture of Mike Tyson. Then I know you had like a little segment on it or a show about it a little bit. So it could be even a plug for the show. I just need to hear more about that.
That's cool. So so I did. Yeah, I'm spreading it out on all the shows. So this is perfect. Guerrilla Intellectuals. We talked about it yesterday. But the short of it is, the short of it is, I would never do something like that again. I didn't understand what the situation is, and I'm not really that interested in almost any of what we would consider celebrities to just get run through a line. You get a quick handshake, they take your phone for you, give you a quick picture, and then that's it. And the fact that I've introduced any attempt to get Mike in touch with my colleagues for an actual project was already doing too much. So everything past, what's up? It's an honor. You could already see he was, it was like, I didn't know what to expect. I don't do these things. I'm never at these things. I don't know what, I don't think I've ever done anything like this before. And I would definitely never do it again. It was I felt like he was being exploited. It was like, it's not worth, the time. So that was it. So then he did say I could go and, I said, I want to, introduce a colleague of mine who wants to have you involved in a counseling psychology project around athletics and trauma and all kinds. So it was like a legit, interesting, he pointed me to his assistant. I rapped with his her and his bodyguard. There was a lot of security in that joint. And I'm sitting there thinking, the first thought is, who's fucking with Mike? But then it's like, somebody is stupid enough probably to mess with Mike. Obviously, the white boy in a plane is a good example of that, and they were making sure if anybody did, he would not have to be the one to deal with it. It was a lot of security. So the short conversation, it turned out that the brother that was the bodyguard and the sister that Tyson asked me to speak to, both have connections to Morgan State. They both have, HBCU connects. So we had a nice little short conversation. I explained my buddy's project real quick. Very uncool. Like I always want to stress, I was not smooth at all. Like it was like all very rushed. I literally read the text that my buddy had sent because I was like, I need a script because I'm not going to remember.
You didn't have your elevator speech ready. You didn't have your elevator speech.
I'm not good with that. I'm never good with that. Like I've said to you before, like I'm never good with like, hey, Jared, we're at a rally. Get up there and say something real quick. Freedom.
What's up, y'all?
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jared. All right. Next speaker. So it was like that. It was like everything, I need a minute. Like I need a minute to like, I don't know. I'm just not smooth like that. So I just was like, project, Bowie State, Morgan State, HBCU, psychology, trauma. And they were like, okay, got an email. And that was really it. So there was some criticism that I responded to yesterday. There was a couple people that raised the criticism of why are we, is it a contradiction? They were principled. It was a nice, is it a contradiction to platform or show exuberance for talking to somebody who would have passed of abuse of women?
Fair question.
So, and the short of it is for me was, yes, fair question. I admitted the contradictions of the celebrity thing and trying to get this project, but also the point, and one of the points was that the project, I can't really say much more because it's not my project and I don't have all the details anyway, but the project ultimately is trying to deal with athletes, Black athletes, trauma, in response to trauma and creating trauma for others. So in other words, what trauma has Mike gone through? What is he still working through? And it's been significant. It was more than I even realized. He really, really suffered, particularly as a young boy. I mean, it's really, so not to excuse his behavior, but to say like, we're trying to, so my point was if he's not actively engaging in abuse, as far as we know, and he is expressing interest of trying to recover of his own laundry list of traumas that he's both created and suffered, then this is the project. I would think that this is exactly what we would want. And so for me, it's like, I'm not aware that he had done anything that he had not served a punishment for, that he's not trying to overcome, and that should require his permanent exile from the community. And at some point, particularly with this project, and I'll stop here, is that there has to be a way of fixing and dealing with trauma in the context of anti-colonial struggle. And that's where we were segueing into, the discussion yesterday. So that was it. So, I mean, in the nutshell.
I don't think Mike Tyson was ever exiled, to be honest. Like, I don't remember a time of him ever falling out of favor, even after the rape conviction, even after he served his time, especially after he came out. I mean, that was breaking news. I remember everybody showed up to the jail to meet Mike when he came out of jail, and he was right back on the wheel. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson's a very interesting character, like in that way, because I mean, especially you guys know my position on sexual assault and all that. I know what he did, but I also, I know what he was convicted of doing. And I remember all of the smearing of his victim at the time. I mean, I remember watching that as a little girl and being very, very, very disturbed by it, because I remember thinking, I'm like, so how, if he hurt her, then why is everybody talking bad about her? You know, that's just something that stuck with me at the time.
I mean, there are a few folks who are like the Teflon. Again, like it's not an excuse of their behavior, but they within, and this is probably in some weird ways, it's not the same thing by any stretch of the imagination, but the way Trump is treated by a large segment of the larger white community, it's like almost no matter what they did, and for various reasons, I think Tyson fits that mode. Somebody who grew up kind of like, you know, overcame all the shit that he went through, kind of like the sport, you know, the fact that he was involved in sport, he represented a certain black male image, and particularly black men, not exclusively by any stretch of the imagination, but I think have continued to and I agree, like particularly then, I kind of agree with Jared. Like I think there's been even if Mike was not exiled, there's been, in Mike's own way, weird way, an attempt at working through publicly a lot of the trauma that he has both faced and caused, which makes him even more of an interesting personality trait for people. So yeah, I think for whatever reason, he gets a sort of a Teflon thing, whereas other folks who have been, maybe because they have been less repentant about it or less able to, like an R. Kelly, obviously, for various reasons for a long time, skid or slid through any type of retribution for their behavior. And then all of a sudden the hammer dropped, you know what I mean? Like for whatever reason, an article, a time period. And
30 years later.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. Like for a long time that he slid right through. But then all of a sudden it just dropped out. And I don't think that's ever happened and or will happen at this stage. And probably some of that, I mean, the charges, the things, the accusations are different. But obviously the charges against Tyson and the conviction was extremely serious. So, but yeah, that person.
If R. Kelly serves time and gets out and shows up at my local dispensary for a VIP, I'm not going.
Yeah, you never go.
I'm not interested in that. But Tyson, I admit, was compelling enough. It was, for me, at least 50-50. He was compelling enough as a figure in my childhood and life and whatever. And then also with this project that I was also trying to get him in, it was 50-50. But and the exile part for me, it was really specific to the couple of critical comments that it was. My point was, in other words, when is it okay to re-engage? And that was sort of my point, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't see me ever finding a point where somebody like R. Kelly is like, I put that in a different category. I don't feel the same way. I'm not interested in anything like that. Even if he was to come back on some, whatever he was, I'm sorry tour and I'm fixing myself tour or whatever. I'm not, no. But Tyson, I admit it. So I acknowledge the contradiction, and I'm good with the criticism, and I appreciated the way the criticism on the platform was offered. So,
I mean, yeah, and Mike Tyson is a big man now. I mean, that rape conviction happened 30 years ago. Would it be? I mean,
something like that. Yeah.
I'm here for forgiveness. I'm here for not holding people accountable for the sins that they may have committed in their youth. Like, I don't see a point in doing that. But I do see, there is value in acknowledging it. And again, sort of the examination of him as a really interesting cultural figure. I mean, I feel the contradiction as well, Jared. I made a point to go up to New York by myself to go see his show on Broadway because I was interested. You know what I mean? Like,
so what was that like?
Oh my God, it was incredible. you never, I mean, that a man who is capable of such harm with his hands is also capable of such deep, deep vulnerability and transparency. It is something to behold, because it's like, I dare anybody to go make fun of Mike Tyson and the way that he grew up, because you know he will punch a hole through your skull. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that he experienced so much and still he overcame. And then, you know, the figures that meant something to him in his life, his mother, you know, Cus D'Amato and these, you know, this one, that one. I mean, just it's a compelling story. Like, it's hard. It's hard to not really pay attention and marvel at the evolution of Mike Tyson. So no, the Broadway show was fantastic. It was really good. One man show. It was incredible.
Yeah. I saw I think the HBO version or whatever.
I saw that. And was it HBO or the HBO was alive. It wasn't like not the miniseries you're talking about.
Honestly, I'm not sure what I'm looking. Is it didn't Spike Lee produce it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw the miniseries. I think it was on Hulu. It wasn't. These are actors. You saw the actors one?
Oh no. Him. I saw him on stage with like a presentation that he was narrating, and that was incredibly compelling. I was like, can I really watch Mike Tyson for 90 minutes? And I was like, yeah.
Yes, you can.
I mean, it was very easy to do it.
Yeah.
So no, but there was a moment. I mean, and there was a moment when I felt like, as soon as I started to talk beyond, you know, it's an honor, you know, I could see, I felt that little bit of like, he had that little bit, like he like kind of started to scowl a little bit and turn towards me. And I was like, HBCU,
it's time to go. It's time to go.
Counseling, psychology, trauma. I was like, that's why I was like, what condition does somebody have to be in to fight him willingly? That's the question I kept thinking.
Drunk.
Who's fighting this man willingly on purpose? Even in his 50s? Hell no. And I'm like a big guy, and I felt I was like small next to me. I was like, this dude is
you don't want, don't compare us. Yeah.
Nothing. That's why I was like, I kept thinking, well, I would at least I'm taller than him. I got a size of, I was like, I can't help my mind doing that thing.
No.
But
even at his age, at his age, his diminished boxing skills, he can still fuck up literally 99% of the planet.
There's only
1% of the planet that could stand up to Mike Tyson at this age. At whatever drugs he's been taking.
Trained athlete.
Yeah.
In that group of people, there's nobody else is doing. I don't want no parts of that. I was just like, let me just go to the back. I was like, to the back, okay.
But I saw the Hulu miniseries of Mike, which was both terrible and both compelling. It was the first time I felt anything sympathetic towards Cus D'Amato, because my whole thing about Cus was like, this white man who's making some money off of Mike Tyson. That's, obviously he only wants him because he's a boxer, and I think part of that still remains true. But obviously there's in a weird way, I think Mike's even view of the world apparently was affected in some ways, whatever I can say in air quotes, politically speaking, by Cus D'Amato, who turns out to have some very socialist views or whatever. So that kind of thing was like, oh, okay. But still, I know the main reason was everybody saw Mike at one point as kind of like this gifted athlete who could bring literally millions of dollars into their lives. And they weren't necessarily concerned about him personally. And, because of his upbringing and what he went through, he wasn't concerned about himself personally a lot of times, so.
No, it's definitely, if he couldn't fight, even Cus D'Amato would have been like,
Oh, he just been some street kid from Brooklyn. If he was half as good of a fighter as he was, he would have been some street kid in Brooklyn, period, right? Who knows what his life is like, would have been over by now, whatever. But no one would have cared about him. No resources would have been dedicated to him. There's only when folks learned that he had a particular skill that, again, became marketable in some ways because of, what we do with boxing or whatever.
So, right on. So, should we slap the map? Am I pushing these buttons? What's happening?
I ain't pushing them. Yeah, you got pushing them.
All right, here we go. Let's see how this works.
What up, everybody? It's the Remix Morning Show. Black Power Media in the building. It's Tuesday, May the 16th. Welcome everyone to the program. Please give the video a like, a thumbs up when you come into the joint. Speak if you in the chat. Say what's up. It's Kim Brown, Kamal Franklin, Dr. Jared Ball in the building. Big up to the people that ran us some super chats, Jared. We had some super chat support.
Oh, what?
You know, and Kamak didn't even have to turn nobody upside down and shake them by the ankles. It was it was donations of the willing, which is
But apparently they want to get me some batteries for my smoking carbon.
There we go. Thank you very much.
Thank
Yes,
you, Black
indeed.
Magic. We
I
love
might
you,
take
sis.
a break and at some point climb up there and twist something and whatever. Maybe.
Thank you, Casey. And thank you to Afra. Thank you, Afra.
Mr. Ronna Burke, how do we reconcile SA with restorative justice and abolition? She said we're still trying to figure it out. Yeah, I hear you.
What's SA? My bad.
That's the word. That's the
Sexual assault.
acronym for not getting demonetized and removed from YouTube.
SA? What does it stand for? Say it again.
Can you just tell him it's sexual assault?
Oh, I'm a child. I don't know these things. Okay, thank you.
Oh, check that out. It's a new feature, the Auto Star Super Chats. Look at that. Look at that. Right on.
Well,
What
we
does
need
that do?
we need more of them.
It
need more.
automatically highlights the super chat for you, so you don't have to search through the comments and lose track of them.
Oh,
Oh wow,
Oh.
Rakia Lumumba. What?
Go Rakia. Go Rakia.
hey. Thank
Welcome,
you.
Rakia.
Thank
That's
you,
that's
Rakia.
legendary status. We coming up in the world. We get members of that quality to the channel. I
It's all
don't know
because
how.
of me. It's probably
like-
all because of me.
Well, speaking all because
It
of
is
you,
probably true, but you know,
come out.
Oh, they might leave. They might leave because of me also. So you know.
it balances out. That's what I was
It
gonna say.
balances
Right?
out.
It balances out. Honestly, every time I get that little thing that says you've got X amount of new Twitter followers this month or whatever, I have almost the exact same of unfollows. So I make no progress. It's like one in, one out. They like
Yeah.
high-fiving each other on their way as they pass by each other, right?
They're like, you won't stay. You won't
Won't
stay.
stay. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. Anyway,
We talked about this earlier last week or whatever like that, but me and Kim both joined Blue Sky, like this alternative Twitter thing, which only has like 60,000 people. So it's kind of weird because now I'm at a point on Twitter. If I get like 100 likes on something, it's like, oh, I guess that was a bad one, whatever. But on Blue Sky, if you get like one, you're like, well, all right, someone's paying attention to you.
Someone's
I
checking
did just get in. Somebody just sent me a link to.
Oh, you should
I never-
join it.
I
It's
never.
the same thing as Twitter, but not as functional at this stage, to be honest. Like, I don't think they got no videos. But again, it's like reaching that point of like, you know what, this Elon Musk character, do I really want to stay on this platform long term? Even though you've done a lot to build up an audience or used a good way to network, blah, blah, blah. It's still kind of like, you know, I want to have something ready for when he does just the most overt shit and you just can't be like, you can't go like this anymore. Be like, all right, I'm just going to keep playing. I'm just going to keep on this platform.
That was the one rule we had. We wanted to get an electric car, and the one rule was it cannot be a Tesla. Like,
Exactly.
Hey, see, that's what I'm talking about right
so
there.
it
Look
was
at
like
y'all
the anti, you know.
conscious with y'all consumer.
I don't know if they've gotten cheap enough for where we were trying to spend anyway, but it was like it was the anti-advertising, you know, mechanism.
Yeah, but people brag to me still, but when then folks, I feel like I cannot even see Tesla apart from Musk. Somehow I can, again, maybe because it's free, the Twitter thing, it like seems different, but the Musk thing is like, you went and spent that kind of money on that car at this point, kind of thing. And he, as folks may know, you know, it's not, I don't know if we reported, but he just hired someone who's supposed to be the new chief executive officer who is also overtly conservative in her views. Like she's known as a right-wing conservative, maybe not like the most right-wing, but definitely considered a conservative. So it's like, you could see the direction. When I get the invite, Zenzi, you'll get the invite. Yeah, because somebody gave me an invite. I actually asked for it. I was like, I knew somebody. I was like, they were talking about it, and they have so many followers on, you know, on Twitter. And I was like, yo, if you get an invite, I just want to check it out if it's possible. And so they sent one to me, and that's how I got on. But they apparently make you wait like, I don't know, 2 weeks or a month or something before they give you an invite. I don't know, they got to use it or something.
Now I got to
So-
find it again. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
look
just
for
like
it.
I'm always a late adopter for stuff anyway. I'm like,
You should
I'm like,
be. I mean,
This is
why
the
are
earliest
you
I've ever jumped
first
on.
jump next? Exactly. Like, I mean, because it's another fucking thing to check. Folks, can we have a serious conversation about social media, electronic engagement, and our mental health? And we need to stop framing it from solely the perspective of children. All the shit that they say that how social media is bad for kids, bad for your self-esteem, bad for your attention, bad for your eyes, bad for your neck. It applies to adults too.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Like all of it, every single corner of it. And I'm telling you, I think part of the reason why the younger generations, perhaps, younger millennials, Gen Zers, why the issue of self-harm and suicide is showing up so much with these people, these younger folks, is because they are digital natives. So they have the expectation that they're supposed to check all this shit and be on all this shit. And their reactions to those electronic social media pressures, with them, having mental health crisis and wanting to do self-harm or whatever, that should be an indication to us that this shit is not fucking normal. Like this should not be expectations that we're putting upon our children, nor should we be putting these same expectations upon ourselves. Put some of them apps down, man. You ain't got to check every fucking thing, man. Your phone does not run you. You run your phone.
Feel. Yeah. Well,
I just want to just quickly come out. I just want to say that producers who want to produce have to be present. Mr.
I
Pat.
agree.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
The doctor
Continue on.
sends a
Thank
little
you.
note as he's off, about to do his
Don't
thing.
nobody want to hear that shit. You out
Right.
there.
Now the kids are in charge.
Everybody wanna-
But I feel like the reason I don't read as much as I like, despite all the books and but I don't really finish a book. I feel like part of that is social media. Like part of that is the idea of like going through the whole book. Like my brain does not do it. I was the type of person in my late teens and 20s and 30s. I literally would read, and not for an academic purposes, but just because I loved the idea of reading and learning, 3 to 4 books a week at some points. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, and not small books. I would just pour through books. I just cannot. If I go through 7 to 8 pages, I'm like, oof, I'm done. I'm tired. And then again, can still read.
Uh-oh. He froze to you too, right, Kim? Do you
Yes,
see him?
he did. Yes,
Okay,
he is
all
frozen.
right.
He is frozen
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
At
All
this-
right.
at
In
this
lifetime
moment.
freeze. Okay. But I do co-sign his point.
Yeah.
If I'm not involved in a specific critique, I haven't read like I don't read full books anymore.
Do you think that's because of social media, or
It's at least in part of it? I was going to say, I was going to ask what you all thought about, because my initial reaction was it's as much, for me, it feels as much about the amount that is produced. It feels like there's so much being written and produced in terms of podcasts and videos and books and articles and movies. And I mean, it's just so much that I feel like I can't keep up. So, like when we did this specific project with Kalanji rereading Wretched of the Earth, like that's as close to reading a full book recently as, usually with big books nowadays. Well, it's always been this way, but more so now. I read the intro, the conclusion, and depending on how much, I'll read several chapters in between, or, unless there's a specific critique, then I will really, but it's very rare and very difficult to stay focused. And but I think your point about the age and the focus on children and social media is a good point. We need to be reminded as adults that we need self-care, and and why
it's
for
the
some
normalizing of all of this. Like, it's normal. Like, oh, the kids are having problems, but adults, you're all adults. Y'all should be able to handle this. No, the fuck we shouldn't. How do you figure that? Hey, put up Zenzi Bell's comment, Gerard. What Zenzi Bell says? She ran us some bucks. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Zenzi
okay. Hold on
Bell,
a second. It's easy to find now because it's all high. Thank you. I read constantly. I also remember being told I always had my face in a book and how that was going to ruin me. Yeah, right. Exactly. My thing is
people keep their face in their phone. That is going to ruin you. You keep your face in your phone. Your children keep their face in their phones. That's not good, y'all.
So that is how I feel, though. I don't know if Zenzabel, if you agree with this part, but I feel like I'm constantly reading. I'm not necessarily finishing everything that I'm reading, but I'm constantly moving on to something else. And I feel like it sometimes feels almost manic. That it's a lot. It's a lot. Anyway, but thank you for the super chat as well.
What happened to Kamak? Kamak just said, "Hey,
oh,
there we go."
He kicked the Wi-Fi thing out. I don't know.
Sir, you're chirping. I feel like that is Albany Projects energy back there, dog, with the smoke detector chirping in the background. What's going on, Kamak?
Yeah. Anyway, and then the audio books, exactly. This is a lot. This is constant. Anyway, it's just a lot of stuff. That said, was there any news that you had? Did you have a story you wanted to get to?
No, I have none. Okay. I thought, well, the story I wanted to get to is Kamau Franklin to update us on what was happening yesterday at Atlanta City Hall, because niggas was around the block. I saw that. They was around the block. I need to know what went down.
Well, in the interim, while he's getting himself together, I have at least one, and it was interesting that Ear Doctor said what he said about the money, because I was looking at this story that came out this morning about consumer debt ballooning to historic highs.
Really?
It starts off, if you've been dropping plastic a lot and hoping it'll take care of itself later, join the club. Yesterday, the New York Fed released its Q1 report on household debt. Findings include a record high debt level of $17 trillion, persistent credit and debt, and rising delinquency rates. So it appears as though everything is reverting back to normal after a little bit of help was offered people during COVID, and everybody is going back to the regular, and we're trying to maintain a level that they were, living before, and compensating with is what we're asked to do, which is get credit. And it is good for the people, because what they don't often highlight is that the $17 trillion that is owed to someone. And those someones are very happy with that. They don't have a problem with that. But it also says it's not just that credit card balances are flat. Delinquency is rising. As its intimidating older brother, serious delinquency, which is when a debt is 90 plus days past due.
I know that nigga.
Yeah.
I know him.
You said you know the older brother. You know Serious?
I know Serious. Yeah, I've seen Serious several times, lots of times. Serious done sent shit to my house. Serious done did a lot of shit, but yeah. I know Serious. What's up, Serious? You bitch. Sorry. Let me calm down.
Oh man, yeah, Serious, boy, I tell you, Serious is a problem.
Yeah, problem.
The Fed report showed that 4.57% of credit card debt transitioned to serious delinquency last quarter, up from 3.4%. As for credit card holders aged 18 to 29, 8.3% of balances were in serious delinquency. Plastic isn't the only thing to blame. Auto loan delinquencies are higher than before the pandemic, and the average monthly car payment has jumped to $729 a month. Mortgage debt increased by $121 billion in the first quarter, reaching over $12 trillion, even though mortgage organizations are way down. Organizations were way down. They're likely due to the Fed's rate increase extravaganza. Okay, student debt saw a slight decrease in the rate.
Yeah, because there was a pause on the payments. Niggas didn't have to pay student loan debt for 3 years. And now all the interest rates are up on everything else. And this sounds like a whole complete 180 from what people at least the economists were complaining during the pandemic, is that people got too much money in their savings. People got too much money in their savings. They're not spending enough. They need to spend. So now you said, Jared, it's back to normal. It's back to everybody underwater in debt.
That's nonsense, right? Of course, they spent like crazy and the debt has increased. So, but even to your point, even with the student loan debt, whatever was happening, it only went the rate of the serious delinquency went down to less than 1%, but that's probably due to repayment is paused for now. So to your point, that's exactly right. And then the zoom out is debt balances are almost $3 trillion higher than pre-pandemic, but Fed analysts see one bright spot. Many households are still more financially stable than they were before. thanks to the mortgage refi boom. So that's a whole other thing that I didn't really get to look too much into, but they're saying, but a refinance boom is just more loans and more debt. So the one point I made, I made it jokingly yesterday that was fascinating to me about the car purchasing experience we just did this weekend. Because of that Freedom Scholar thing, we were in a position to have the decision: do we want to just pay for it outright? And I asked, I was stupid because I was like, I've never been in that position before. So I said, and I've always assumed if you do that, they give you a discount. That's what the myth I grew up believing.
That's not true.
And dude was like, oh no.
He said full sticker price. He's like, full sticker price right here.
I was like, what happens if we just, because we were like, what if we put this down? What if we put that down? What if we make this arrangement, that arrangement? What would the monthly payment? What if we just pay it all off? What discount do we get? Oh, he was like, oh, none. And then he was very open. He was like, because we don't make any money. He was like, 60 months of interest payments of 4 to 5.5% interest payments. That's where we make. If you pay it all off, you save almost $20,000.
Mm-hmm.
We don't.
Wait. If you pay it all off, does that mean you don't? That excludes that interest, or that includes the 5 years worth of interest?
No, without that, no, because you're not financing.
Yeah. So that's the saving. That's the only savings that is a good savings, right?
So that's why I was like, we should do that because we save almost $20,000. But my only point was, I thought the initial sticker price might come down a little bit because they looking at you like, well, you're doing, you're helping us move product or whatever. I don't know what I thought, but they're like, no, we need you to go into that debt because they want that. That's what this report is saying. That's how they get that $17 trillion and higher than pre-pandemic now. They're like, we don't make any money when you are not in debt. Yeah. And that's,
the inflation, man. Because all the interest rates on everything is higher than it was pre-pandemic, and the cost of everything is still higher. Yeah. So naturally, everybody, the debt would increase when you're paying more on loans and whatnot.
And particularly the financiers / the banks. I mean, that's where they get there, because the money that you give them, they're giving to the car dealership. So except for that interest that they get to take, and that's their profit margin for financing your loan, or even up front, they've paid it off. And then they're recouping that plus what they get on top of it. So the way the system works is, for them, it's all about the interest, which is why even at the weird thing, I brought this up a couple of times. It's like, even now during this high interest rate period, I don't see, in terms of a shift, I don't see savings accounts interest rates going up to the degree 10, 15 years ago. I used to, again, it was a certain time period, or whatever, but banks were competing still around interest rates and getting you to come to their bank by giving you a certain interest rate. And then they would obviously lend your money and charge higher than that. Nowadays, they're just like, fuck it. There's like, not only are we not giving you no interest, but fees and overdraft fees and the rest of it. So you're losing money when you put your money in the bank, and you get nothing out of it, while they're taking your money and lending it out every goddamn day at an interest rate for them that gives them a profit. So you're not only, even the idea of the banking, obviously I know the protection is better than keeping it, well, maybe or maybe it not, it's better than keeping it in your mattress, but it's not the same thing anymore, where it's at very least they could give you the security plus, and you get a little bit, for those who don't want to, not dabble in the market, or if you got a little extra cash, then you'll make a 2%, 3%, 1% interest, something to keep you going. But these days, it's like, no interest at all. No. And if you don't keep enough in the account, we're going to charge you. Yeah.
And that overdraft, I think, Kim, you mentioned that last week or whenever, like that overdraft, like whatever that cousin's name is, me and that cousin have a very deep and personal relationship, and I don't appreciate it. Like that overdraft fee is ridiculous. Anyway. But the good news.
What's the good news?
We do have good news. And Sister Erica hooked us up today. So the good news
God bless you, Erica. Thank you, Erica.
President Biden got an honorary degree from Howard University.
Oh, Jesus. I saw that Biden was the commencement speaker. I said, Howard, what y'all gonna do? Because shout out to the kids at CUNY Law School who heckled the shit out of Eric Adams on Friday. We was here for that. Turned their back on Eric Adams. I said, surely the Howard University students are going to give Joe Biden a commiserate reception when he comes to address their graduating class of 2023.
Well, because he first of all, Kim,
yes,
stop complaining, because President Biden, as your president reminded us, our president reminded us, class of 2023, you're the reason I'm so optimistic about the future. I give you my word, he said. I really mean it. You're part of the most gifted, tolerant, talented, and best educated generation in American history.
He told the students at Howard that they were tolerant
and talented and most gifted and best educated, Kamau. And
You
making him
Negroes.
optimistic.
Let me tell y'all real quick what a piece of shit Joe Biden is, because he went and spoke at this HBCU commencement, right? We all know that Black students are far more disproportionately affected by student loan debt and how that debt just is an albatross on their life as they try to move along through adulthood. Wasn't it Friday that the Biden administration announced that the pause on the student loans would be unpaused, and that y'all recent graduates, that shit's gonna be due come October? You bastard.
That's why he's optimistic, Kim. You're gonna be paying us forever.
Oh shit.
And you tolerant. That means you're going to take it. You're tolerant.
Exactly. You're tolerant.
It's like, and you're going to take it and like it and not say nothing about it.
So please tell me that this is not a typo in the editing, and it's what he actually said when he said HBUs help produce 40% of Black engineers, 50% of Black lawyers, 70% of Black doctors and dentists, 80% of Black judges. I hope he said HBUs.
No, he said HBUs. He probably said NCUs. Yeah. He's like, United Negro College. Where am I speaking out again? There's Negroes in the audience. Is Obama here? He's clean. Ain't he clean? He's a clean one. He was a clean one.
Where are all these? Why is my audience all Black? Am I back on Charlemagne's show?
Oh my God. Charlemagne interviewed Joe Biden. Are you kidding me?
Well, remember the whole "if you ain't Black."
Oh Jesus!
That was he was talking to Charlemagne. If you don't vote for me, you ain't Black line.
My bad. Oh my God! Wow.
So maybe you know.
I wanted to share the CUNY one real quick.
Yeah. Good.
So this is your mayor, Eric Adams.
Let's be clear.
No, that's your mayor. That's your mayor and your alma mater, right, Kamau?
My life.
No, I go to undergrad. This is the law school. We started.
Oh, okay.
Policies on healthcare.
So you can see them standing up if you can, and they have their back turned to them.
Some of them are going to move on and even fill the role of what it is.
And look at the white folks in the corner. What are they doing?
Let's be clear. For 22 years of my life, I wore a bulletproof vest and protected the children and families of this city as a police officer.
They started doing it.
So I know what it is. I know what it takes to hold this city together.
What?
And we have
a
lot of challenges, a lot of things that it needs discipline. And just
that's a big up to the CUNY, the law students at CUNY for doing that. They also apparently they got a smoke detector that keeps going off there. That's amazing.
Well, hold on. Seriously, did the Howard University kids let the CUNY kids, show them up? Really? Like, was there no disobedience done?
They were tolerant. They were tolerant. Did you not hear that? That they were tolerant? The most tolerant.
No, for real, chat. Seriously, I know a couple of y'all was at that Howard University graduation. To be serious, did nothing happen? Like Biden was just allowed to be there comfortably? Come on.
Tolerance.
Come on.
Most tolerant generation.
Shout out to the CUNY. Shout out to CUNY. HU, sit down, man. We go. Hampton's a real HU now. Jesus.
Oh boy.
Y'all the fake HU. Y'all let Joe Biden stand up right there in y'all face, and y'all ain't say nothing. Y'all didn't say nothing. Come on. sad state of affairs. Shout out to the community law school.
Erica is really on. So in the prescience of Erica is astounding, because Kamau mentioned this, right?
Was
it you, Kamau? The
Yep.
Twitter's new CEO finally agrees. Twitter finally agrees on something, hating Musk's new CEO.
Ooh.
Linda Yaccarino. Is this supposed to be a Latino? Latina? Is that what?
I don't think so. I thought it was
No?
Eastern Europe. I don't know for sure though. So let me not guess.
Yaccarino, Linda Yaccarino at the 80th Global Golden Globe. In December, Elon Musk asked Twitter to vote yes or no on the question of whether he should step down as head of the tech giant, noting that he would abide by the results of this informal poll. More than 57% of respondents, nearly 10 million people, said he should. And 5 months later, he honored his word by hiring a new CEO absolutely nobody wanted, Linda Yaccarino. Why does nobody want her? What do they know about her that we don't know? Let's see. For 11 years, she served as chairman of global advertising at NBC Universal. Let's see. Her expertise in brand safety and commercial partnerships, which could assuage the big businesses that have frozen their ad buys on the platform.
Shut the fuck up dealing with the real.
Uh-oh,
Talk
what
about
happened?
Kim, you in DC, you could have went to the graduation. The fuck I was gonna go down there for?
Oh,
To
damn.
boo Joe Biden. I can boo Joe Biden all kinds of times. So I need to block the nigga, because every time I see his stupid shit, it does kind of get on my nerves. My bad, Jared. I didn't mean it.
Oh no, that's okay, because I think me and Kamau is somebody who's being. Am I the white one, or is Kamau? Are we both being called white? I'm not sure what the chat is.
In the chat,
Somebody in the chat is I'm not clear what's being said about our hair or the chat. I'm not sure what's being said, but
I know. Let me tell you what's about to be dead, though. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Jarrod.
it's all good. I mean, it's whatever. I mean, have fun in the chat. I hope it's making your day. It's rough out here. If calling me names makes you feel better, enjoy yourself.
Hey,
Enjoy
tell
yourself.
him.
oh no, I think that one is about me because it says about
is
the
it?
blue shirt. Yeah.
Oh, damn. My bad.
Domesticated species feeding on. Oh, I can't even read it. Well, this person's either really smart or dumb at this. I can't even understand the word.
They're
So
either
I'm
really
gonna give them
smart
either
or
a
really
compliment
dumb.
or whatever.
Either way, I don't get it. So either way, adjust your levels. Get smarter or dumber so that we can understand you.
You got to dumb it down for me when you insult me.
Yeah, come on. You know what I'm saying? You're not trolling right. If we don't understand the abuse, come on now.
Oh, jeez. I'm a fan of y'all. Can I just say,
Alan,
I like y'all. Y'all are good.
Go ahead. You get one more, Alan, and then we're gonna send you home for the day. All right, go ahead. Get one more. All right, get one more. Make it a good one. It's probably gonna be your last one. Get a good one though. Make it a good one. If you legit make me laugh, I won't kick you out. It's got to be funny. It's got to be funny. Anyway, let's see. Leftists and liberals noted that in 2018, Donald Trump appointed Yaccarino the president's council on sports, fitness, and nutrition.
Oh, wow. Plot twist.
While it's not a particularly damning connection to the embattled politician, she also follows a number of right-wing extremists on Twitter, from the anti-LGBTQ accounts of libs of TikTok and conspiracy theorist Jack Posobiec to attorney Lynn Wood, a former Trump lawyer known for his connections to QAnon movement and pushing the lie that the 2020 election was stolen. She follows Cat Turd 2, a popular pro-Trump shit poster who consistently amplifies far-right propaganda. Oh, this is awesome. This is great. Do we get to hear from her?
Hey, everybody. Linda Yaccarino here. Class of 1980. We're not here to talk about that. We are here to talk about masking up or packing up. I promise you, we're doing good so far. Just keep your distance, get your hands washed often, get tested often, and wear your mask.
But she said wear a mask. And wait, did she say get vaccinated?
I didn't hear vaxxed.
Well, this is what it says here.
That'll get us closer and closer to normal days. We are resilient. We are tough. Keep doing it. And we'll be back at Beaver Stadium before you know it. Mask up or pack up. We're almost there. We are.
Okay.
Hey, that actually sounds like pragmatic advice. So
And that's
someone
why she
telling
was
people
being
to mask up.
attacked
Ah, I
by the
see.
right.
I see.
She's anyway, whatever.
I mean, she is probably a piece of shit, but goddamn, at least she had common sense. You know what I'm saying? She had some common
Well, I think
sense
she's
right there.
establishment right piece of shit kind of thing. So she's right wing establishment pieces like, and the things I read were similar to Jared's stuff. But she's obviously in the background. Her and Musk get along. They got things that they want to accomplish. I think and I think she's there to right the ship, as in no pun intended in that way. But to make it safe for corporations to come back on without losing the touch and highlighting who they want to get highlighted. So I don't think there's much that's going to be shifted from Elon Musk days, except it's a gentler, kinder face out front that still does what they want to do. But it's still, it's as much as we know all these platforms are owned by capitalists and the rest of it. I think that sometimes some of these folks, when they are so overt, it's just hard to be like, I'm associated with that. I prefer, that it's like, just shut the fuck up, run your platform, don't come out with your political views. And it makes it that much easier for all of us to do whatever we want to do with it. But when they're so overtly one way, it just brings it out. And you're just like, let's start looking for that alternative, because this is a little bit too dramatic right here.
Twitter is a shit show nowadays. I use the app very sparingly just because I see, number one, the amplification of all these right-wing voices, like on the For You versus the following columns of your timeline. It's like, well, as I'm scrolling For You, I'm like, well, I don't follow any of these people. Why am I seeing this specific slant of commentary? Pro-Trump, anti-vax, all the shit that I disagree with, right? I'm like, why am I seeing all this? And then the platforming of people who use the Twitter Blue verification. So if someone has a Twitter Blue subscription, their comments to a particular tweet, if it's like a popular tweet, you see the Twitter Blue comments towards the top. So you're getting inundated with all this nonsense, basically, and not really hearing and getting the opinions and the perspectives that most people came to Twitter to get. So Musk has totally turned the temperature and flipped the tone of Twitter like 100, I wouldn't say 180 degrees, but like there's little to no moderation going on Twitter. You can find like the usual like gory sort of videos. Like there was something trending, was it last week, everybody? Like if like kitten in a blender, like craziness, like stuff that the old Twitter would be on top of. But since Elon Musk fired / ran everybody up out of Twitter, they don't know what the fuck they're doing over there at Twitter. They don't know how to fix the Twitter over there. So I don't know. I mean, the Blue Sky, I'm sort of warming up to it. It is like Twitter, and they are, I think, going for a specific type of user. Lefty, you know what I mean? Like organizee, like I don't, how Rumble was and Truth Social has been marketed towards the right. I think Blue Sky is going to be marketed towards the left, but Twitter in its current state is in a bad place. It's in a very bad place.
I agree. Like there's obviously some issues with the tech on Twitter now, like things glitching. Again, for my purposes, I think for a lot of our purposes, like the whole idea of like networking, getting the word out there and all that kind of stuff, it still, for the most part, fulfills those purposes for me, which is, I'm not on Twitter to make friends, although I've made different connections on social media, I think like everybody, that's been useful for organizing purposes, but it's really still an organizing tool. And until I feel like it's not allowing, like, even this demo that we just did yesterday, for the most part, it was social media, various social media, not just Twitter, of course, but various social media that allowed us to sort of spread the word in an instant, and allowed for the sort of turnout and the build up that we were able to get. So it's always one of those balancing acts of like, what purpose does it serve for you, particularly as an organizer from that point of view? And then, like you said, like, whether or not you're receiving and or getting and or just by being on there, sometimes it's helping to platform these things that just like that you know, like behind the scenes, something is rigged anyway to make sure that those things get much more play than yours anyway. So
Mhm.
yeah. You on mute.
What did
You on
ZZ
mute,
Lion
Darren.
Dad put up? ZZ Lion Dad put up that old girl came out to Davos. The Davos.
Oh, whoops, wrong one. Thank you, Zenzi, again. No, don't leave out. She's part of the World Forum with Davos. Plus, she have a finance background. She was CFO somewhere. I thought I did read that part in her bio.
No, she's straight out. She's straight out the playbook of who somebody like that needs. They probably have similar politics, but she understands kind of like a formula to be like, you know what, you don't got to be as out front as you are, and you can still, quote unquote, make this platform do what you wanted to do in terms of highlighting certain conservative voices, but also making your profit, whatever, So I think she's here to balance the ship, to be like, oh, you can keep these liberals and lefties on here, but at the same time, you don't have to antagonize them as much. So your presence of not saying as much will do the platform good, and I can get these major car dealerships and other people back on the platform, and then you can make some more money. So shut the fuck up, do your thing someplace else, kind of thing. So
Zenzabel, again, thank you. I work in IT, so there's no way I will ever avoid computer technology. I also know how to walk away from it and do something else. It's all about balance, and that's all for today's donations. Well, thank you for thank you for that. Appreciate you. Ito Ita, debt is another means of compelling the working class into exploitative relations. It is the other side of wage relation. That's exactly correct. Thank you for that, and thank you for the super chat as well.
Thank you all.
Kamal, you mentioned you and we didn't get to it because of your tech issues, but tell us more about this rally that you were involved with. What was going on?
Well, basically, the City Council of Atlanta is at a point where it's about to allocate $33 million for Cop City. And so it's overtly putting out that it's going to vote on that in the next couple of weeks. So the legislation was proposed today. June 15th will probably be the next time we call for a big rally. And what happened was, again, it's just because of, I think, all the stuff that's been built up so far is through a social media call out. We set a record for the most people who signed up to speak. So people came out for it. We did an outdoor rally. I couldn't go inside and speak in front of the city council personally, but we had over 300 people who came and signed up. Over 7 hours of comment. Again, the most ever for Atlanta City for Atlanta City Council. And then in addition to that, there will be, maybe I'll find a video real quick, but if people could check on social media, folks inside as they're signing up, like lines all the way around inside City Hall, were shouting "Stop Cop City." So it was a really great fight, a great day just to keep the battle going. And again, we got some other things that we're planning in terms of a referendum, as long as we can work out what that looks like. That's another possible way for us to try to stop this. But they have started doing clear cutting. There's a couple of pictures I'll put up later on social media that shows the area that's designated to become Cop City, how much, and we're talking about 90 acres, how much of that woodland has already been cut down and cleared. And so a lot of that is we're pushing, they're pushing, and so the fight continues.
Right on.
So wait, so this vote, the vote was not yesterday. The comment period was yesterday. So
no, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
When is the vote?
The vote is potentially scheduled for June 15th. That's the next city council hearing with a vote. The city council will vote itself to pass the legislation or the ordinance, at the city level, to allocate the resources for Cop City. And I'm just gonna let for the rest of the show that I'm gonna let that beep happen. So
obviously, shout out to Pookie Wood. Thank you so much, Pookie Wood. Pookie Wood ran us some bucks for a 9-volt battery for Kamal.
I need 2 9-volt batteries. So somebody else got to run some more money for that.
There's 2 more dollars from Holly. Thank you.
I said the volt batteries, they cost like $40 per battery for the smoke detector. See, I got to run some more money for me to afford $40 each.
Really, I think you're trying to raise more money for somebody else to get up on the ladder and change that battery out. Like I'm out. Like I give you $25 to get up there and change out
I
that
know I
battery.
needed 50 word. If y'all leave it for me to do, it's going to take a couple of weeks. But if I can hire somebody to do it
No.
on BPM's dime, we can get that done, maybe by tomorrow.
Quietly, I struggle changing those batteries for some reason. Those detectors.
It's hard to get that shit open.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know what it is with. It's a struggle. I don't look forward to it when it happens. It's not some easy.
And that's why I still do it. It's been beeping now for 2 days because I'm just
wow.
like, I'm going to bed.
That's messed up. Everybody else got the psychological torture, the sound torture, the audio disturb, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, Kamau don't care. Kamau do not care. Y'all be all right. Just ignore it. Just go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Exactly. Just put the pillow over your head. I don't know what you need to do. Being from car horns, people yelling, none of that stuff bothers me. When I want to sleep, I sleep.
Nah, yeah, I'm
that's
tree
that
line street.
life.
If it's not a bird or a cricket, it's a problem.
Let me tell you, when I first transferred to Temple University in North Philadelphia in 1999, I did not sleep like the first month I was there. I could not sleep. I said, this shit happening on the street. There's people yelling, there's cars honking, there's gunshots in the distance. God damn, there's none of this in Laurel.
That's white noise for me. For me, that's all white noise.
That's thank you, Dead Man Animations, for your almost the rest of that 40 for you, Kamau.
No, did I say 40 or did I say 400?
See.
Jeez.
Now you Brooklyning too hard.
No. I think Kamau takes it to another level. Kamau is like the Debo of the revolution. Like, what you got on my revolution, nigga? What's up? What you got on it? Everybody, all right, everybody, tuck your chains. Kamau coming around. Everybody, tuck your chains.
Riding up on his stolen bike.
I gotta get better. What they call your man at the reparations rally in California? I wish we should pull up that video. What's his name? The not Adios. What's the other one he created?
The FBA.
Oh, Tariq Nasheed.
Yeah, somebody called him an agent. At
there was a little fracas.
Oh, this happened in real time.
Yeah.
Oh, so the internet came to life. Somebody went up to Tariq and called him an agent.
Oh yeah. You got to find that video somewhere. It's somewhere in the Twitter.
In the chat, can somebody in the chat? Can we get some help from the chat? By the way,
just throw that link in there. Can we take a break? I got to pee. It's 9:30.
We have no breaks. The break.
Go up with the Ear Doctors commercials.
Do we have one? I don't think they're long enough. We just got to go in rotations. You go, I'm talking to Kim, and then you come back and I'll go and you talk to Kim. And then if Kim needs a break, then me and you will rap for a few minutes. But I think that's how we're gonna have to work it because I don't.
It's like a marathon in this bitch. I'm like, God damn, 2 hours. Woo.
So by the way, we speaking of Ear Doctor, we're not letting him off the hook. So shout out to the remixers. We are well over 300 today, so he owes us a mix for today. If he skips out again, he said he's not gonna be here tomorrow, right? So he's gonna have to put in some work next week when he comes back.
What about Thursday though, my bruv? Aren't we on Thursday?
We're on Thursday, but I'm just saying he'll owe beyond Thursday. And if we hit 300 Thursday, he's gonna already owe that. And he's getting no breaks. Like what do you think he's doing running around helping the people and doing other jobs
with his family?
Showing up for his children. I mean, oh my God.
These daggone kids.
I mean, he didn't show up the first 17 years. Why all of a sudden?
Stop.
That was just humor. That was humor. That was humor. My bad.
And just very quickly, also, at 11 o'clock. So today, if you like JB, this is your day. If not, come on back tomorrow. Because after this, at 11 o'clock, we got Sakessa Berry coming on to talk about Black birther movement. Black women birthers. And then at 2:30, Daruba's coming back to wrap up our discussion of Dear Mama. So so we got a full day here on BPM. And I'm not sure what else is happening later on. So make sure the bell is rung and all of that. Like, share, subscribe, all of those things. And yeah, ring the bell. You don't have to worry about missing anything.
Now, and I don't want to get too much. Go ahead, say it again.
But take your break. Don't you need to
I
take a
can.
break?
All right.
Yeah,
how
take
how
your
we going to
break.
do it smoothly? We're going to do it smooth?
Okay.
I mean, you've already announced why
already
you need the
it
break. I
can't-
mean, what's
Yeah.
smooth?
There's
What's
no smooth.
Yeah, there's no smooth. There's no smooth. There's no smooth.
Um,
So can I tell you some
Please.
something not news related? This is just conversation. So Maryland related. So of course it was Mother's Day Sunday. Jared, try to get you don't eat crabs, do you? Y'all not pescatarian. Y'all don't eat seafood. Nah.
I don't anymore. I have an appreciation for them. I remember them.
You remember them.
I remember
Yeah.
them.
Unfortunately, probably not in the not so distant future. The Chesapeake Bay, the Maryland blue crab is going to be something that you are going to remember because I don't think the crabs are doing well out here. They were sold out everywhere. I called about 4 or 5 places from Prince George's County to Baltimore
Really?
City. Yeah, I only know a couple people that was able to get crabs, but by 12 o'clock, 11:30, 12 o'clock, all these crab places were sold out.
And just for people who are not from this area, just in case this is major. This is like a crisis.
Yeah.
Like if Marylanders can't get crabs. So what is it? Is it the issue that you're saying that the Chesapeake itself is drying up from
So there's-
crabs, or what's?
So it's twofold. So for one, the crab seasons around here have been paltry over the past couple of years, right? The crab population in the bay continues to decline, and that's for a number of reasons. Regardless of whatever EPA, it all comes down to the runoff that comes from upstate of Maryland, right? So New York State and Pennsylvania, there's a lot of farms, pig farms, and farms use a lot of chemicals. And states, since we are not a federalized nation, like states kind of have somewhat of their own rules when it comes to how much pollutants can be put into rivers. So for example, a river like the Susquehanna River, I don't know if the Susquehanna starts in New York or in Pennsylvania, y'all, but y'all know, but it comes down into Maryland and it deposits down into the bay. So regardless of how strict or whatever, not Maryland's environmental rules are on pollutants in the rivers, if our neighbors don't adhere to said rules, then the crabs still become affected. So the population of the Maryland blue crab has been declining for year after year for a while. So really, a lot of the crabs that people eat in Maryland are flown in from Texas and Louisiana. And I have questions even about that because I remember, do y'all remember? I don't know. It was something called the Deepwater Horizon, and the ship blew up and it leaked a bunch of oil in the bay in the Gulf of Mexico for many days.
They made a Mark Wahlberg movie about that, I believe.
Oh, really? See, all I remember watching about that, I think I saw Gasland 2, and when he flew over the Gulf of Mexico with all that oil still sitting on top, I think I had to turn it off because it's so upsetting. So anyway, I worry about the crabs being flown from Texas and Louisiana, swimming in petrol, and then being shipped up here and consumed by ice. So the crab situation was wild, but Mother's Day is a difficult day to try to get crabs anyway. Father's Day is going to be the same thing. It's those Sunday family holidays that are associated with spring and summer, in which people definitely try to go out and get crabs, but it was no crabs to be found, Jared. We're trying to find large males, couldn't find them. And guess how much large males are a dozen, Jared?
I have no idea at this point.
$90.
God damn.
$90. $90. 9 zeros. Well, not 9 zeros.
Well, Troy is saying that folks at PA come down here to get their crabs too.
Really?
Yeah, and that we're all going to be short apparently. And yes, our unique doulas. That was the word I was looking for a minute ago. We'll be talking about doulas later on.
Lounging with 7 doulas.
But yeah, no, that I did not. Now I seem to remember I think on the remix, not maybe last year, we did. I remember there was a story about the runoff in the Chesapeake, and it was getting worse and worse, and this and that, and the, like military defense contractors were involved in the runoff as well, of course. And but I didn't. I'm not up on the. This is like a major. This is like crisis.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
It is a crisis. It is a crisis.
It's
And you just
over.
think
So these are the last days for real.
it is, man. I mean, when you try to put the shit in perspective, I just think about how long the peoples indigenous to this land have been eating them crabs, have been eating that shrimp, have been eating them oysters. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden now, in the times in which we live, the shit that's been here for millions of years is going away. Oh, Jesus. That sounds like very bad news.
It's because the Russians and Chinese keep polluting everything.
I know the Russians and China.
As if they
There was some NPR story a little while ago just about the disappearance of the bird species. So different bird
Oh my
species that are
God.
disappearing because of the deforestation and all that kind of stuff. And how, and again, instead of creating the conditions or stop building, what they do is they employ either scientists or botanists or whoever to go out there and then just think about like, well, let's repopulate in this other area. And then that satisfies for whatever we're missing. It's never just, it's always like, let's have science or somebody else come to the rescue. It's never just stop doing what you're doing because it's ruining the fucking planet. That's never the answer.
Never
No.
the answer.
No, they just like they around here, like when they'll like extend deer hunting season or something. So they'll go kill more of the deer that no longer have room since we built up everything. Like so, they're like that's how they deal with it. You know, it's that kind of stuff. You know, like just kill more of the animals and then we don't have a problem. I mean, just wipe out a few more bird species and we're good. And we don't. What do we need crabs for? We can, I don't know, genetically modify some form of something crab-like meat. We'll have some crab substitute.
Well, they
that
already
is-
have imitation crab meat, which I think is disgusting. But
It's never
truthfully,
as good. Even the best vegan options versions are never as good. And I love them, but they're never as good. I admit that. We can acknowledge that.
The only
But
thing
the
they really do
problem
is
is-
just slap some sauce on it. They slap some kind of a lot of
Old
pepper.
Bay, baby. If you put enough Old Bay on it, you might
Yeah,
trick
they're
yourself.
like, they won't notice.
It's like drown it in mambo sauce. You might get it.
no,
Anyway.
the crabs are swimming in PFAS. The shrimp are swimming in PFAS, the forever chemical. We in turn are eating the shrimp and the crabs. I mean, the PFAS is in us anyway. We was all born with it because this is the kind of fucked up toxicity, highly toxicized situation that we find ourselves in, where everybody has these forever chemicals in their blood. And now the EPA says, oh, we're going to try to regulate forever chemicals. How the fuck you going to regulate something that takes 2,000 years to fucking break down? You know what I'm saying? Like this, it's a bunch of playing in our faces right now, y'all. The dystopia, like we are the earth, your outside is actually on fire. We are just conditioned to not see it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's a nice day outside. No, it's a terrible fucking day outside. You just can't tell. You just cannot
Be
tell.
fucking up everybody's morning. Good morning. What a
sorry.
beautiful day today. No, it's not. God damn it. I'm on fire, motherfucker.
It's not. And then anyway, I'm gonna shut up. Let me perk y'all up this morning. I don't have no good news. My bad.
We didn't say Remix Morning Show is good news. We didn't probably just said news. This is it's just slap the map. It didn't say bringing you good news and positivity and sunshine. But speaking of more good news, let's just keep it in that theme because this country cares so much about its youth that it's going to release youth criminal records starting in Black neighborhoods. My bad. Louisiana lawmakers want to release youth criminal records, but first only in majority Black areas. Let's be real. We know what this is about. The optics are obvious. On Thursday, the Louisiana House passed a bill to make some juvenile criminal records public in 3 majority Black parishes.
What?
Sponsors argue that providing the public with these records would offer transparency in crime-afflicted areas. If signed into law, the measure would serve as a 2-year pilot program.
Oh my God.
Kamal, with your extensive experience with the law, I know this has been something you have fought endlessly about. Like, let's release more of our children's youth records so that the transparency will help the community. So, Kamal, help us. Like, I know this is like good news for you, In advance, critics of the measure, House Bill 321, say the measure is racist, noting that 3 parishes to which it would apply, Caddo, East Baton Rouge, and Orleans, are 50, 47, and 60% Black, respectively, with Black residents making up the majority of their populations, according to U.S. Census Bureau data. The bill would not be rolled out in Jefferson Parish, however, which is larger than both Caddo and Caddo and Orleans parishes, and is majority white. Edmund Jordan says, let's be real. We know what it's about. The optics are obvious. Let's stop playing around with this. If you're from Baton Rouge, if you're from Shreveport, if you're from New Orleans, you should be offended by this. Advocates of the bill. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just co-signing. Yes, continue.
Advocates of the bill, advocates in favor of the bill have said its aim is to increase accountability. This bill is about public safety. Republican Representative Debbie Villio, who represents Jefferson Parish and sponsored the bill, said in the House floor, according to the Times-Picayune, the public has a right to know.
Oh, shit.
You got a right to know. You got to know where them criminal kids are.
I know, but they don't apply that to white kids. Remember the Buffalo supermarket?
Yeah, they're not criminal. They've had youthful indiscretions.
And they have affluenza, remember?
Yeah. It shouldn't harm them for the rest of their lives. They should not harm them.
But when you fail to be transparent about people that have perhaps made threats against their classmates or against their school, and then mommy and daddy and the whole white power structure system covers it up for them. And then when they get 18, they said, oh, I can go buy this fucking gun myself and go shoot up some shit. Peyton Generon in Buffalo, Ethan Crumbly in Michigan. Like there's a lot of those.
You're being divisive, Kim. You're being divisive. And you're bringing race into it, Kim. Don't say race.
You don't do CRT around here.
Right? No CRT, exactly. No CRT around here. Don't do that, Kim. Don't do that.
And that's true. White kids don't threaten. They offer constructive suggestions.
Oh no, they deliver. You're right. They don't threaten. they deliver. Right. They show up strapped and absolutely deliver. You're right.
And it's
about
only
that.
mental health issues. We shouldn't worry about the guns. Don't worry. It's not the guns' fault. It's only the mental health issues, which I know, even around here gets a little play amongst the so-called the folks who think they're revolutionary and about to start an army, but they never do. But, let's not talk about the guns and shit, because it's not the guns. It's never the guns. It's only the people. And their guns can only be countered by more guns, which,
I just saw another study that was critical of, it was actually being critical of those who argue that we have to have parenting by a man and a woman. And the research in this one study was concluding that it's not about the gender of the parents. It's about having 2 parents, time and money. If you raise children with 2 parents, time and money, they end up doing quite well. That's another aspect of this that doesn't get addressed either. So we can have arguments, even some silly arguments around guns. We can have some silly arguments around more security in schools or the transparency of records, but there's never going to be a discussion of, let's make sure everybody is likely at least to be in a 2-parent household with time and money, and let's see what shakes out from that crazy situation.
That's called welfare. That's not. We don't do that here.
We don't do that here either. So
we'll give them a gun instead. Let's give them trainings on. We'll put on more cops. And
remember, we showed that story where they're now developing bulletproof lunch boxes, remember, and like school gear. That's like we can do more of that too. If you love your kid, you'll get them Kevlar for their birthday. That's love. Kevlar and headgear for school. That's what they should put in the news back to school commercials in August.
You guys, I mean, but let me circle back to the story, because there's a lot of these stories. Like, I feel as though Black youth specifically are being blamed for the so-called spike in violent crime. The rise of violent crime in our city is our youth. They just had a story on this morning about, I mean, and some of it's legitimate, because there was a 10-year-old girl who was shot. She lived. She is in the hospital recovering, but this happened in Northeast DC. She was riding with her family through, and there was a gun melee ensued, and this child ended up shot. And the stats that they gave, I think, I can't remember, but a lot of kids got really harmed by gun violence. in DC last year. I mean, it's very sad, but at the same time, the kids are being blamed for the gun violence. And then all I'm hearing, it's very much 1994 again. We have to bring them to heel, these super predators. You know what I'm saying? We gotta, and I'm like, y'all, we've heard and done this exact same shit before. Can we do something different instead of further criminalizing the kids and giving them harsher sentences and just that and the third? Like we have already gone down this path before, but there's no other suggestions being made. It's just, oh, we need more money for police, and it's not more money for youth activities or youth programs. It's that we need more cops on the street to do something to address public safety because these super predator kids are out of control.
It's a combination of 1994 and 1924 because it's like, you know what I mean? Because you're exactly right. And then the solution is to overtly to go back to sort of the overt vigilante justice from maybe even during that time period, but before, where people will act as if they're in danger and do whatever they want to do and have no consequences whatsoever. But still, it'll all be blamed on the internal violence or the violence of young Black people. And no talk of resources, like you said, no talk of anything. No talk of new culture or understanding of just no talk of shit. You know what I mean? Just it's all about it's just all about locking folks up again, and it's all about people being able to do whatever they want to do out in public. There's no guardrails anymore, and I think that's in this weird thing for me is like that's what this society pushes for and wants, and that's why it's not a sudden thing, but we're in a transformative period of it is totally scary out in the real world, particularly here in the States. Climate change, the way folks are interacting and treating each other, the folly of government, so-called democratic government, where people are just there to take your rights away, and you're supposed to just sit there and do it. Like I think we have that story. I can look for it and pull it up around the new legislation in Florida around I think another push by DeSantis. I got it. You got it? Yeah. I think if I'm correct, this is another one around education or stopping read the headline?
Oh, my bad. Hold on. Ron DeSantis announces signing. Wait, am I muted?
No, you hear you.
Okay, my bad. Ron DeSantis announced the signing of law to ban diversity, equity, and inclusion departments in state universities. We will reorient our universities back to our traditional mission to treat people as individuals. DEI has no place in our public institutions.
Wow.
Do we want to hear from him directly?
Fuck it. Why not?
like the day's already fucking ruined.
The bill that I'll be signing is SB 266. And what this does is reorient our universities back to their traditional mission. And part of that traditional mission is to treat people as individuals, not to try to divvy them up based on any type of superficial characteristics. We're going to elevate merit and achievement above identification with certain groups. And in order to do that, we had to look at this new concept, relatively new concept, called diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I didn't know much. I mean, this is something relatively
you
recent.
don't know
Chris
anything
Russo
about
can
that.
talk about when this really started to percolate. I think it had probably been there a few years ago, but then kind of the post-BLM rioting and the George Floyd summer of 2020, I think it really take off. And on its face, I mean, when I see diversity, I think different viewpoints. Have a robust academic discussion in the university. Isn't that what they're for? In reality, what this concept of DEI has been is to attempt to impose orthodoxy on the university.
Wow.
And not even necessarily in the classroom, but through the administrative apparatus of the university itself. And that manifests itself in a number of different ways. But this has basically been used as a veneer to impose an ideological agenda. And that is wrong. And in fact, if you look at the way this has actually been implemented across the country, DEI is better viewed as
standing for discrimination, exclusion, and indoctrination. And that takes place in our public institutions.
Clap, applause,
That was
applause,
gangster.
applause.
That was gangster. I like that.
That's what
That
some
was
good
gangster.
writers will do for you. It is like some good writers. Trump could never
What-
pull that one off. Trump could not pull that off. Not that his constituency wants him to. They like for him just to say foul shit.
Division, what was it? Division or discrimination, exclusion, and what? What was the I? What did he freak the I to?
Now I forgot.
Yeah.
Damn.
Old stoner brains. Hey, DeSantis. Well, let me. Jerry, I want to hear from you first. I mean, you're the college professor here. I know
Indoctrination. Thank you. Yes.
indoctrination. Thank you, guys.
Indoctrination.
Yes. Oh my God! Can you the audacity
Look-
of a
look,
white supremacist talking about indoctrination?
Well, the first thing I
It
thought
was
of was
absurd.
not from an academic perspective, but a business one. And his first problem is BlackRock and Larry Fink and them, who are saying if your DEI scores are not high enough, I'm not investing in you. Like he wants the show. Like they want the show. They want the rainbows and the black fists and the whatever. They want all the displays of equity that will keep the business moving, keep business flowing. So that's my first thought. The other thought, of course, is it's wildly hypocritical for someone who's been attacking Black studies and CRT and all this diversity of thought that he says what he thought that the word meant, to come back and then say that there's indoctrination being imposed from outside these incredibly well-funded right-wing military defense supported industries. Like the idea that rioters angry at George Floyd's killing are going to have the kind of power over these institutions that his funders have it's fantasy. But as we've already pointed out, I mean, this is a very well-written speech for his base, and it gives them talking points to carry into Hickory Ridge Village board meetings and wherever else. Like it's that same, you see it trickling right on down into everybody's little watering hole. And that's why it's slick. I mean, this shit is slick. But yeah, so anyway, that's my initial thought. The hypocrisy is pretty.
No, I agree. I just want to see. I want to see the debate with DeSantis and Trump because it's the different styles of right wing populism, right? Trump, who comes off at least as having no education whatsoever, as being dumb as a doornail, but somehow with shtick and schlock can move white crowds like never seen before, some shit like that. I'm just like, I want to see that versus the sort of the well-groomed, attempting a certain level of false sophistication that doesn't really play itself out well. But again, for that sort of dumbass white audience that he's going for DeSantis, he's thinking he's Trump he's Trumpism without the Trump kind of thing. And so what's going to happen when Trump sort of mudslings and he tries to read off these talking points like from these well-heeled writers on the right wing? I just think that they gotta be coming up with like his own zingers or some shit like that for him to feel more like working class or whatever. Like, so when Trump does this, you surprise him and you loosen your tie and then you do this and then you do that or whatever like that. You got to show that.
I'm watching that first debate.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be front row in terms of TV watching that debate. That's gonna be hilarious
with snacks.
Yes. Snacks, treats, little support, little bit of support from my friends. I'm gonna be up all in that joint. I'm gonna be enjoying that joint. I can't wait.
It's funny that DeSantis made a public showing of proposing this legislation as he did when he did the so-called anti-woke act. But when it came to signing that 6-week abortion ban in Florida, he did that shit behind closed doors. Wasn't no pictures, wasn't no signing ceremony. It's funny how that works. Like he's very overt and upfront with his misogyny, and not to say that he's not overt. I mean, his races. I'm sorry, I get all them confused. But it's just that's just a point of observation that I just noticed. It's like, oh, okay. You don't mind telling the world that you don't, you're going to take things away from non-white people, but you don't want to necessarily broadcast that,
You don't want that white woman smoke.
You don't want that white woman.
The suburban white woman smoke. Who made choose a moderate Democrat over you?
Yeah.
That's say for like, when he gets to Kentucky or wherever he go, Alabama, let me say Alabama. Then it's all about the misogyny. Then you can whip out the racism and misogyny side by side, because that'll play well for whatever the crowd is. I don't care what gender fluid. If they're at a Ron DeSantis, they want to hear all of it. They want all that. But
So is that how they code? Like they color code their maps? So it's like in this area we do racism, and then it's a little rainbow over here for the anti-LGBTQ, and some pink over here for the anti-woman. So it's like, just follow the code when you over here read from this script.
Like, Ryan, we're going to California. This is Orange County, a more moderate. So we want to stay away from the abortion and more on the racism, away from the misogyny, more on the white supremacy. Okay, here are your good code words. Let's get it done. Let's have this be a good rally. Let's go, Ron. Let's go. And we're going to have 4 Black people standing behind you to clap throughout all of the things that you say. They're going to have some Clarence Thomas flags. It's going to be fantastic. A fantastic rally.
Blacks for Ron.
Blacks for Ron.
What's DeSantis? What's his heritage? I mean, is he white Cuban? Like, what is he?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, he's spicy white, clearly, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't Nordic, you know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't Jersey people in them, you know what I'm saying? This nigga's spicy white. He came from he's got somewhere else, somewhere warm.
Okay.
He didn't come from Russia.
Someone said Greek, someone said Italian.
Yeah, spicy white.
His ancestors are Italian. Is that what I just read?
Not all what? DeSantis's are Italian?
All 4 ancestors are Italian.
Oh, okay. All right. Italian.
According to Trump, he's part meatball.
That's what I'm saying. Dog, Trump is oh my God. If Trump goes anti-Italian, I'm like, this is vintage. Like, oh God.
No, he's gonna say, I know your people. I've been working with your people in New York real estate for decades. I know your.
They serve me a little spaghetti, a little ravioli. We break bread. We break bread. I know your people better than you do. Better than you do. They don't like you because you're a meatball. You're a meatball Italian. You're not a real Italian. You're a meatball Italian.
That's how we're going to get him.
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. And he'll have that frozen look on his face, like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Oh my God! Like I'm telling you, classic. When Trump got in Jeb Bush's shit behind George Bush and the Iraq invasion, Jeb Bush didn't know what the fuck to do, man.
He was like, "Help, writers, help."
Like, what's his name? Cruz. What happened to Cruz? And Cruz got punched by Trump. I was like, he tried to act like he was the sophisticated right-wing boy. I was like, no, they don't want that.
Haven't you seen that come out when somebody hits somebody in the face so hard that the recipient becomes a friend immediately? Like, oh, buddy, I didn't mean all that. I was just playing. That was Cruz. You know, somebody, but come on, what you pop? Oh, I thought we was just playing. We boys. What you talking about?
Oh my gosh.
That's what that was.
Exactly.
I was just playing. Oh, my man.
Like, I'm gonna drop out. Can you give me an admin post? I want a post. I just want you to hire me and shit.
I still remember Mark Murray. If you still out there, Mark, I'll never forget you. We put on the gloves, mop, and gave him a hug. I was like, we just playing. I was just playing. What was we even thinking?
What were we even fighting about? I forgot. Let me buy you a beer.
What was we doing? Take the glove off. What were we doing? Let me get you a beer. What you drinking? What are we doing? That's what that was.
Oh my God.
He did. Mark, boy, I tell you, boy. I tell you, boy. He caught me on the side of the temple. I was like, but my man, what are we doing? What are we doing? Take the gloves off. What are we doing? That's the Ted Cruz guy. He got hit with He's like, I was just playing.
Jared, you are the best storyteller on the platform, hands down. Hands down.
That's my guy. That's
You
my
are
guy.
the best storyteller on the platform.
Anyway.
I'm crying.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't wait. I can't wait.
So listen, what else is coming up? What do we got? Are you all back tomorrow? Who's back tomorrow?
I'm
Let's
back tomorrow.
surprise everybody.
I intend to be back tomorrow. Yeah.
Wait a minute. That's a little out right there. I intend to be back tomorrow.
Hey, I've set the intention to be back tomorrow, Kamal. That's all I can do. It's up to the universe. It's up to the universe, Kamal. It's not even up to me.
It's like if this alarm goes off, I don't know how much I smoked the previous day. It's all.
If I hear Air Dexter's Air Doctor good morning text, Air Dexter, my bad, Air Doctor. Because Air Doctor is so kind, he will send me a text like, "Good morning," like basically, "You up, nigga? What's up?" Yeah. So
Ooh, my youngest got us today. Speaking of that, you up? Yeah, I'm up. 20 minutes later.
this is her senior year, though. I'm assuming you're talking about.
No, this was our freshman, and our junior is you know, thinks she's already in college and can't wait. You know, but you know, we trying to put the brakes on. Everybody slow down.
That's not how kids work, Jared. That's not how the kids work.
It
Kids
really
all
isn't.
go. All
It really isn't.
forward momentum is children, you know,
Yeah.
onward to the next thing.
That's how the cooking thing happened, because it's all about I know. Like, you got to do. I know. When you turn on when you turn that fire on, you got to, like, it's a clicking thing. You got to let it click. I know. You know, gas.
You let the baby cook on the gas stove unsupervised. Jesus, Allah be offense to the Franklin children. Please.
About the clicking thing.
And listen to
And I
Kamal.
showed her where the
told her
matches
about the
were.
cooking
She needed
thing.
a match.
I told my 10-year-old.
And if you need a match, here's the matches.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Leah. Thank you, Leah. And glad that your eyesight is so strong.
What did Leah say? What did
That
Leah
my
say?
Girls are beautiful.
Oh yes, of course.
And my daughters are beautiful. It's scary how beautiful they are. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Oh.
You know.
Yes.
And all
Was
these
that in
other-
dispute? Was anybody questioning that? I'm confused.
No, but it's still nice to see when other people, you know.
Oh.
Acknowledge.
Will I cry when I send my oldest to college? Will I
Like a
not? Will I
baby.
stop crying? That's the problem. That's going to be the problem. I'm over here fronting. I'm already welling up now. I got a whole year to go. I'm already tearing up.
Is she definitely going away, as in no longer in Maryland? Or?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
We keep telling her that's up to you. That you know, like she wants to go as far away as possible. She's trying to get out of here. She thinks she wants to be far away, but
she does, and she'll flourish, and she'll do absolutely fine in California.
Hush your mouth, Kim.
You said Stanford. You said she was.
Well, I told her. I said I just said if you make it difficult for us. So if you want to go far away, apply, get into all of these universities, and make us have a difficult choice. And that's what we're gonna. That's it. So we'll see.
And she said, "Challenge accepted." Mom and Dad try to pass that University of Maryland College Park application. She balled that shit. Threw it in the trash. She said, "No."
She went and visited College Park, and she was like, "This is nice. Too close.
This is cute. It's too close, though. It's too close."
In her head, she's going like, "I'll never be applying for this shit."
So I took her down to Georgetown, a little farther away. Took her to Georgetown, and she said, "This is cute. This is nice. Too close.
Too close."
Georgetown got a cute.
She was like, "Yeah, it's cute. It's all right. It's all right."
Your daughter's probably more academically advanced than Temple University to me, but take her up to Philly. Philly, if you have smothering parents, as I may have had a smothering parent or one, Philadelphia is a perfect distance away from this area because they can't just pop up on you. I guess they could in theory, but there's a big chance that they won't find you once they arrive in Philadelphia unless they give you advance notice. And it's a good distance. 2 hours away is a good little.
And I will happily let Temple know that they can hire me as the cheapest adjunct lecturer in the history of the university.
Well, that would be hilarious.
And
if she got into a school and then you applied to be a professor after she got accepted. Hey,
oh, you don't think it's not a thought. I'm kind. Wherever she applies, I'm calling everybody I might know. I just need $5 in the bus pass, and you got yourself a faculty member.
I think actually you'd be a good fit at Temple, actually, because Temple has a tiny bit of a history with some radical folks instruction there.
Yeah, and they did them kind of dirty too in some cases. So and a good brother of another, a good brother got unfortunately released there too. So they got it. I'm not gonna put their business out here yet, but they've let a couple good people go. They're not, but if Malefi Senior wants to, forgive our last conversation and hire me, give me
Jared is hilarious.
I'm only a human. On to make mistakes.
Sing to him, Kamal. Anyway, we didn't get a mix, so we got Kamal singing.
There you go. You know what I'm saying?
Big shout out to the remixers. And I guess that's it. Anything else? We out.
We good for the day. We good. We had like 338 or 9 lists, like live, whatever. So we turned it out today. In spite of my, there you go. One for the road. One for the road.
Right on time.
Little tweet.
Yeah, let's fix that by tomorrow. Let's
Please.
The homework assignment for Kamal, the Franklin household.
I mean, since we doing all the unsupervised children, just put Khalib up on the ladder and hold him. You know what I'm saying? Like Khalib.
What do you mean hold it? I gotta hold it. Let the nigga work. I gotta hold the ladder. Let him work. He thinks he got balance.
If you survive this, we go to lunch. If not,
there you go. You get a toy out of it. You get a toy.
Y'all throw up some prayers for the Franklin kids out here. They father out here just letting them.
Hey, shout out to the mothers. Right, there we go. Shout out to the mothers.
Thank
there
you.
we go.
Keeping Kamal's kids alive. Yes. Thank you.
Peace, everybody. Catch you later. Come back at 11 if you can. All right, everybody. Peace. We want to fight.
Bye.